class 8. So we have been studying chapter number 10. Yes, so today we are going to study a new topic of the chapter adolescence, reaching the age of adolescence. This chapter topic is reproductive phase of life in human. There is a reproductive phase of life, reproductive phase of life in human. So we will study this chapter. This topic we will study. So just remember, kids, one point you need to remember that at puberty the uh, uh, male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ, they start functioning. So that's why male reproductive organ start producing sperm and female reproductive organ start producing egg. Okay, so let's talk about the reproductive phase of life. Yes, so in reproductive phase of life, if you talk about in female, the reproductive phase of life begins at puberty. Yes, reproductive phase of life begins at puberty. Means what? Means the reproduction ability start developing when you enter into the period of puberty. Yes, means 11, from the age of 11. Okay, and but generally last till the age of approximately 45 to 50 years. Yes, the reproductive phase actually it lasts approximately 45 to 50 years. Yes, this is the last phase till reproductive phase um, remain. Okay, and one ovum, actually what happens, if I talk about the female female reproductive organ, you know that ovary release egg. Yes, ovary release egg, or you can say ovum. Ovary release egg or ovum. But for your kind information, let me tell you that from the ovary of female, eggs are released each month. Yes, eggs are released each month. Okay, so matured ovum, one ovum which matures and it is released by ovary, and once it is released in about 28 to 30 days. Okay, so during this period, the wall of the uterus become thick. Yes, during the period of 28 to 30 days, sometime 28 to 32 days also possible. So when the when the ovum is released by ovary, and during this time, actually during this period, the wall of uterus also become thick. Yes, the wall of uterus also become thick. So as it receive the egg, when it receive the egg, when the egg is received by the uterus, in case it is fertilized and begins to develop. Yes, when it will fertilize, it begins to develop. Yes, when it will fertilize, it will begin to develop. Yes, and you know that when does the egg fertilize? Yes, when does the egg fertilize? When the sperm reaches into the fallopian tube through vagina, then it get fertilized, and due to fertilization zygote is formed. Yes, then it reaches into the fertilized egg, then fertilized egg reaches into the uterus. Yes, so at that time, actually what happens, the uterus become thick. Okay, but suppose if egg doesn't fertilize, means if egg doesn't receive sperm, then what will happen? Yes, so if egg doesn't fertilize, then something different will happen. So now let's try to find out the answer, that what happens if fertilization does not occur. If the fertilization occur, then egg will start developing. Then due to fertilization, zygote will form, then zygote will develop into embryo, then the process will move, and at last individual will form. Yes, so what happens if fertilization does not occur? Okay, before we find out the answer, let's discuss again whatever we studied in previous class. Okay, before we find the answer of this, let's study whatever we studied in previous class. So in previous class we studied about the mental maturity intellectual maturity and emotional maturity. Yes, these are the changes happen at puberty. Yes, these are the changes at puberty. So mental maturity, intellectual maturity and emotional maturity. What is mental maturity? So it is the time when one's life is when the brain has the greatest capacity of learning. Yes, during mental maturity, person can learning capability increase. So that boy or girl can learn anything, whatever he or she want to learn. Intellectual maturity means what? The way of thinking is changed. The person feel more independent. Yes, he or she think that he is mature, but it's not. Okay. Emotional maturity means a person may feel insecure because of change happen in the body. Hairs start growing, so a person may feel insecure while trying to adjust to the changes in the body and mind. Okay. And secondary sexual characters develop, in the boys, facial hair, mustache, beard start growing, and also begin to grow the hair on the chest, under the arms. Yes. And if I talk about the girls, in girls the breast size start increasing, the breast begin to develop, the hair begins to grow on the chest, under the arms and region above the thigh. So it happens. And during at puberty, hormones become active. So the hormones, testes and endocrine gland, testis gland release testosterone hormone, and ovary release estrogen hormone. So testosterone causes hair growth, and ovaries causes breast development, and milk secreting gland, which is called mammary gland, develop inside the breast. And these hormones are actually under the control of another hormone in endocrine gland called pituitary gland. Okay, so it happens. Okay. And I hope you understood. Okay. And because of pituitary gland, these hormones means testosterone and estrogen, because of when hormones from pituitary stimulate testes and ovary to release testosterone and estrogen. Yes, because of pituitary, the hormone which are in the pituitary, the hormones which are in the pituitary, when they stimulate the testes and ovary, then the hormones are released by testes and ovary. Okay, when pituitary glands hormone, the hormones of pituitary gland stimulate the testes and ovary, then testosterone and estrogen are released. Testosterone is released in male, estrogen is released in female. These released hormone directly reaches to bloodstream without duct, because they are ductless, because they are released from ductless gland. And these stimulate changes in the body at onset of puberty. Okay, now let's study the next point. Let's move on it. Okay, kids. Now let's study about menstruation. Okay, menstruation or menstruation. So, as we know that when the eggs get fertilized, then what happens when the egg fertilized? The egg start developing, and you know that ovum means egg. They released from ovary once in 28 to 30 days, and when they release during this period, the wall of uterus also become thick, and when egg fertilize, they start developing. But if the egg doesn't fertilize, fertilization happen when the fusion of male and female cell occur. Okay, so when fertilization does not occur, then what will happen? Because the eggs are released every month, once. But if they are not fertilization, if they are not getting fertilized means if they are not fusing with sperm, then what will happen? Then because as I said that the uterus lining become thick, so the lining of the uterus and which have with its blood vessel are shed off. Yes, so the thick lining of uterus and along with blood vessel are shed off. Yes, they start removing. They start removing. So this causes bleeding in women. Yes, that's why causes bleeding in woman, which is called menstruation. Okay, menstruation occur once in about 20 to 30 days. Okay, or you can say periods. It occurs. So it's a normal issue which occur every month in female. So when in female eggs do not fertilize, then because when the egg is released, that time uterus also become thick. So the thick lining of the uterus along with blood vessel, they start shedding off, they start removing. So this causes bleeding in women, which is called menstruation. Yes, menstruation occur once in about 20 to 30 days. Yes, it's a normal process which start happening at puberty. Yes, it just start happening at puberty, and it remains for many years. Yes, I hope you understood about menstruation. Well, in simple word, if I say menstruation means periods, yes, which occur in females, which occur in females, mm, which is essential process for the reproduction. Yes, which is essential for the reproduction, and it's a normal issue. It's not a big issue. Okay. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, so now let's try to understand two words, menarche and menopause. Yes, menarche and menopause. So menarch, menarche, menopause, menopause. So what is the meaning of menarche? So the first menstrual flow begins at puberty is termed as menarche. At 45 to 50 years of age, the menstrual cycle stops. Yes. So when the first menstrual flow or you can say when the first period occur in life at puberty. Yes, it happens generally at the age of 11 or sometime at 12. So uh, this first menstrual flow means flow of blood which occurs means the uterus of the lining, thick lining of uterus, and blood vessels start shedding off and bleeding occur. So this first menstrual flow begins at a puberty. Okay, this is termed as menarche, and it ends menstrual cycle end at the age of 45 to 50 years. Okay, now next is menopause. So stoppage of menstruation is termed menopause. Yes, if menstruation stop, yes, the periods stop, then we will call it menopause. Yes, menopause. Okay, initially menstrual cycle may be irregular. Yes, sometimes menstrual cycle can be irregular. The main actually the menstrual cycle period is 28 to 30 days, but sometime it can be 28 to 32 days. It's possible. Okay, so menstrual cycle may be irregular, it takes some time to become regular. Yes, so it takes some time to become regular. Once it become regular, then it never will be irregular. Okay, so sometimes it can be irregular, it's possible. Okay, so if the first so remember, its first menstrual flow is called menarche, and if the menstruation stop, we will call it menopause condition. Okay, so remember these two words. Okay, and remember what is the meaning of menstruation. Yes, menstruation is when fertilization does not occur, the released egg and the thickened lining of the uterus along with blood vessel are shed off. Yes, the released egg, thickened lining and blood vessel, they all are shed off. These causes bleeding in women, which causes menstruation or periods. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's move on to the next point. Okay, now let's try to understand the topic. How is the sex of the baby is determined? Yes, how is the sex of the baby is determined? Here, sex means a boy or girl. Okay, Your sex means boy or girl. Means how to determine that someone is boy or someone is girl. How to determine it? Yes, how to determine that somebody is boy or girl. So it is determined by uh, some pair of chromosomes. Yes, they are actually determined by chromosomes. Yes, they are determined by chromosomes. And actually these chromosomes are sex chromosomes. These chromosomes are sex chromosomes. Okay, so and these chromosomes are actually present in the egg and sperm. Yes, these chromosomes are present in the egg and sperm. Okay, so there is a long process, but we will try to understand the complete process in short. Okay, when you will go in a higher class, then you will study about them, something more you will study. Okay, so sperm, which is actually produced from male reproductive organ, and egg, or you can say ovum, which is actually a produced from female reproductive organ gland, which is called ovary. Okay, so from them they contain chromosomes. So chromosomes actually help to determine the sex of the baby. Yes, how is the sex of the baby is determined? The sex of the baby is determined by chromosomes. So now let's try to find the answer. What are chromosomes? Let's move on the next point. Okay, it's chromosomes. So kids, inside the fertilized egg or zygote is the instruction for determining the sex of the baby. Yes. So you know the fertilized egg. Fertilized egg means what? The fertilized egg means zygote. Okay. Fertilized egg means zygote, and you know that the fusion of male cell and female cell means the fusion of egg and sperm causes fertilization, and due to fertilization zygote is formed, or you can say due to fertilization fertilized egg form, which is actually also a single cell. So which has the interaction, which has the some instruction, which help to determine the, which help to find out the sex of the babies, which help to find out the sex of the baby. So uh, the instruction which are present in zygote, the instruction which are present in the zygote for determining the sex of the baby, they are in the thread like structure, they are called chromosomes. Yes, so what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are thread like structure which are present in zygote for determining the sex of the baby. Okay, so the instruction is present the thread like structure called chromosome. Yes, called chromosomes. Okay, so I hope you understood the meaning of chromosome. So because zygote is a cell, zygote is a cell, single cell, so it contains chromosome. Zygote, how? Because in zygote the chromosome have come from the male cell and female cell. Yes, so in zygote chromosome have come from male cell and female cell. So male cell is sperm and female cell is egg. So the chromosomes are present inside the nucleus of every cell. Yes, you know what is nucleus? Nucleus is the central part. So in the nucleus of the cell, chromosomes are present. Yes, in the nucleus of the cell, chromosomes are present. It means what? In the sperm, in the nucleus of the sperm, and in the nucleus of ovum, in the nucleus of sperm and in the nucleus of ovum, chromosomes are present. These chromosomes are present inside the nucleus of every cell. Okay, so how many chromosomes? There are 23 pairs of chromosome. Yes, all humans have 23 pair of chromosome in the nuclei of their cell. Yes, how many? 23 pair of chromosome means total 46 chromosome. I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, so you know that the sex of the baby is determined by chromosome. Yes, the sex of the baby determined by chromosome, or you can say sex chromosome. So, how many chromosome? Uh, uh, Actually, there are total 23 pair of chromosome. There are total 23 pair of chromosome and two chromosome out of 23 pair of chromosome are sex chromosome. Yes. So total chromosomes are 46. 23 pair means total chromosomes are 46. Total chromosomes are 46. Now 46 minus 2, 44. So these two chromosomes are actually called sex chromosome. Yes, human being also have sex chromosome. How many sex chromosome? There are two sex chromosome, means one pair of sex chromosome. Yes, so these chromosomes are called X and Y. Yes, these are named as X and Y. These are named as X and Y. Yes, X and Y are called sex chromosome, and the other remaining are 22 pair of chromosome. Yes, the other remainings are 22 pair of chromosome. So which chromosome is present in female and which chromosome is present in male? Yes, in female X chromosome is present. Yes, they have two X chromosome, though they have two X chromosome, and in male also have two chromosome, but one is X and one is Y. Yes, single X and single Y chromosome are present. In female, double X chromosome are present, means two X chromosome are present. But remember kids, in female Y chromosome is not present. Yes, in female Y chromosome is not present, but only X chromosome is present, and in female two X chromosome are present. In male one X chromosome is present, as well as one Y chromosome is present. Okay, so remember kids, which are sex hormone? X and Y. X and Y are sex hormone, which is actually one pair from the 23 pair of chromosome, and the remaining are normal chromosome, and one pair is sex chromosome. So this sex chromosome, in female have one pair of chromosome, which double X, XX. Okay, in male X and Y chromosome are present. Okay, which makes one pair, one X one Y, single. Okay, which makes one pair. Okay, means two. I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, it's time to ask question from you. Question number 1: what are chromosome? What are chromosome? How many chromosome are present in human being? Yes, because what are chromosome? Chromosomes are thread-like structure. Chromosomes are thread-like structure, which actually present as a instruction uh, in the cell, in the nucleus of the cell. Yes, or you know that inside the fertilized egg or zygote is the instruction for determining of the sex of the baby. So the instruction is present, the thread like structure are called chromosome. Yes, chromosomes are thread like structure which are present inside the zygote as a instruction. Okay, all human have 23 pair of chromosome, means total 46 chromosome. Question number 2: how is the sex of a baby is determined? Yes, the sex of the baby is determined by chromosomes. Yes, the sex of the baby is determined by two chromosomes, which are called sex chromosomes. Okay. Question number 3: what are sex chromosomes? Sex chromosomes, there are two sex chromosomes. Actually, two chromosome out of 23 pair of chromosome, two chromosome out of 23 pair of chromosomes are sex chromosome. These are named as X and Y. Yes, these chromosomes are responsible for the boy and girl, means for the determination of the sex. And female has two sex chromosome, which are actually XX, means two X chromosome are in female, and in male have one X and one Y. It means what? It means in female do not have any Y chromosome. Okay. Question number 4. Define following terms. First is menstruation, second is menarche, third is menopause. So what is menstruation? So when the fertilization does not occur, means zygote do not form. When the fertilization does not occur, the released egg and thickened lining of the uterus, along with its blood vessel are shed off. Yes, these all three things are shed off: release egg, thickened lining, and blood vessel. They shed off. This causes bleeding in women, which is called menstruation. And menstruation, you can say, menstruation occurs once in about 20 to 28 to 30 days. Okay. Mm, Now next is menarche. What is menarche? So the first menstrual flow begins at puberty. Yes. So this first menstrual flow, which begin at puberty, is termed as menarche, and remains the menstrual cycle stop at 45 to 50 years. What is the meaning of menopause? So stoppage of menstruation is termed as menopause. A stoppage of menstruation is termed as menopause. Okay. So initially menstrual cycle may be regular. It take some time to become regular. Okay. I hope you understood. Now we will meet in next class. Okay. We will study the chromosome in egg and sperm. Yes, development into boy and girl. We will try to understand by a diagram also. Yes, diagram is the best thing to understand anything. Now we will meet in next class. Till then, bye bye.